Hello and welcome to the Best and Worst Pictures podcast. I'm your host Jake, and with me, as always, my good host Ian. And joining us, as per usual, is the other amazing, wonderful, tall, dashing stallion of a man, Joquin.
Oh my goodness, you're making me blush.
What is this show, you might ask? Well, every other week, give or take, we sit down and watch a best or worst picture. Best picture, not worst picture. We're not there yet. A best picture in terms of one of the best or worst pictures as compared to the other winners. And this week we're talking about none other than the 1963 hit classic. 36th best picture winner ever, Tom Jones. And start us off, Ian has collected some fun facts about Tom Jones.
Wow.
Joker and I have not heard ahead of time. So
you
Ian,
guys are going to have
away.
some facts, and it's not going to be a lot of them because this movie is barren of all fun and enjoyment. So Tom Jones was distributed by United Artists. It has a critic score of 83% on Rotten Tomatoes and an audience score of 58. Very low. IMDb, 6.4 out of 10. Metacritic, 77.
What'd you say the Rotten Tomatoes was?
83 for the critic, 58
For audience.
for audience.
Awesome.
So a little bit of a disparity.
So good.
It's about 128 minutes long, a little bit over 2 hours. Released on September 29th, 1963. And it had a budget of $1 million. It made $37.6 million.
Hey.
Pretty decent return.
Good ROI on that. Yep.
And it is an adaptation of Henry Fielding's classic 1749 novel, The History of Tom Jones, comma, a Foundling.
Okay.
There's no way this book about the 1750s is going to be interesting.
It sounds insanely boring.
This movie stars. I'm not going to talk about him because we talked about him already. But Hugh Griffith of Ben-Hur fame. We love Hugh Griffith.
Sure.
It really stars Albert Finney, who is the title character of the book and the movie and the song "What's New Pussycat." Tom Jones. He was also in Annie, 1982, Ocean's 12 in 2004, Corpse Bride in 2005, The Bourne Ultimatum in 2007, and Legacy in 2012.
Cool.
And Skyfall, 2012 as well.
Interesting.
It has Susanna York. She is Sophie Western. She was in Jane Eyre, 1970, Superman 1, 2, and 4, not the third one, as Laura, and A Christmas Carol, 1984. Lastly, the only guy who saved this, because as I was scrubbing through the people in this movie, I found no one interesting. I was like, oh, guy who's in 40 films, all of them don't have Wikipedia pages. Over and over and over. Except one man who saved the day. Julian Glover.
Okay.
As Northerton. What a good name. He's in Wuthering Heights, 1970. Empire Strikes Back, 1980. He's General Veers, a character I did not know existed.
Just a background guy.
For Your Eyes Only. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Shit, okay.
This man is in franchise after franchise after franchise, and I recognized his name and his face when I looked at him. I was like, oh my god, a guy I recognize. Thank fucking god.
And he's in Tom Jones, most important.
He's in Tom Jones. And the director of this movie is Tony Richardson. He mostly did theater. He's directed other stuff, but I've literally never heard of any of it except maybe the hit film Blue Sky from 1994 with Tommy Lee Jones.
Never heard of it.
Yep. Maybe. There are a couple of notable films that came out this year that didn't really get a lot of recognition. One of them did. It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
I love that movie.
And From Russia with Love came out this year.
That's a good one.
So
Mad World's amazing.
A small amount of production, like the minusculest amount. The British production company that was initially making this film, which was Bryanston Films, they were hesitating over to make it in color or in black and white. Too bad they hesitated too long and went bankrupt. So it was picked up by United Artists. Imagine, should we make this film in color or in black? Oh, we don't have a company anymore. Fuck, that sucks so bad.
Dude, at some point you just flip a fucking coin.
So overall, there was a lot of production challenges. Near disasters, squabbles about the film being shot on location in shitty English weather. Like, it went through a weird mix of fighting for no reason.
Okay.
They were like, oh, should we shoot in England? Why not rain? Over, like, for months at a time about the weather for some reason. Imagine just not shooting inside on bad days and good days just go outside. It's England. They might not have good days.
Okay.
The film has this weird comedic, I'm going to put that in quotes, comedic style. It's shot and acted kind of like a silent film. But it also has like weird meta references and like fourth wall breaking. It's very jarring, apparently. Like, Tom Jones looks directly into the camera and addresses the audience at some points in this movie.
Great.
And I'm so excited for that because I fucking hate that.
Great.
And it also has an unseen narrator who mocks the serious commentary of the film, and it's gonna be awful. It's just gonna be terrible.
The last one was Lawrence of Arabia. Like, come on.
So despite the success of the movie, Tony Richardson said he fucking did not like the final product. In his autobiography, he was like, it felt incomplete and botched in most of its execution. I'm not knocking the success, but whatever someone gushes to me about Tom Jones, I cringe a little inside.
Who the fuck is gushing to him about Tom Jones?
People in the 1960s.
I would assume maybe.
Like,
Probably not even.
no one now. He's probably not alive. That's it for the production notes. The movie's very, very interesting. The awards show, it got 10 nominations. That's a lot. It
Did it
won
win?
4.
Okay.
It won Best Picture, Tom Jones. It beat America by Elia Kazan, who we love. Elia Kazan. He directs good movies. Cleopatra, which I thought won. How the West Was Won, and Lilies of the Field. He won Best Director, beating, what a name, Federico Fellini for 8.5. That's the name of the film, 8.5. Just a number. Elia Kazan for America. Otto Preminger and Martin Ritt for The Cardinal and the Hood, respectfully.
I'm going to assume you're saying those names correctly.
Best Actor. I kind of want to skip this one. I'm not going to tell you who won. Albert Finney lost for playing Tom Jones. Richard Harris, he was the first Dumbledore.
Oh, yep.
Was nominated for This Sporting Life. Rex Harrison for Cleopatra, he was playing Julius Caesar. And Paul Newman in HUD as HUD.
Okay.
It lost Best Supporting Actor to Melvin Douglas. What a fucking awful name for HUD. Nick Adams from Twilight of Honor. Bobby Darin, who wrote Splish Splash, the song. I just realized that now. From Captain Newman, MD. Hugh Griffith lost from Tom Jones. And John Huston lost from The Cardinal. It lost Best Supporting Actress. Margaret Rutherford from The VIPs won. Diane Salento, Edith Evans, and Joyce Redmond, all from Tom Jones, lost.
Okay.
3 Best Supporting Actress nominations.
Oh, those are all actress. At the
Supporting.
Same time.
All in the same category.
That's crazy.
Yep. And then Lilia Scala from Lilies of the Field also lost.
Got to be some kind of record for
Best
how many.
Screenplay based on material from another medium. The real name of the category for this year.
Sure.
Tom Jones won. It beat Captain Newman, MD, HUD, Lilies of the Field, and Sundays in Sybil. Best Music Score, substantially original. Tom Jones won, beating 55 Days at Peking, Cleopatra, which that might be a joke. Cleopatra's music's actually really good. How the West Was Won, and It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Are you out of wins for Tom Jones yet?
Maybe.
Because
We have one more he got nominated for. 3 of those 10 nominations were for Best Supporting Actress.
oh, I get it. That makes
Best
sense.
Art Direction Color. Cleopatra won this one. Very well deserved. The Cardinal lost. Come Blow Your Horn lost. How the West Was Won lost. And Tom Jones lost. That's all it got nominated for.
Damn, Tom Jones lost. Rats.
Damn. So it basically got 7 nominations is what I'm saying. Because it got 3 for Best Supporting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all the awards. And now we're going to go to the awards show.
Did you skip over Best Supporting Actor?
Or
you skipped
no,
Best
that was the
Actress.
Hugh Griffith. It didn't get nominated for any of the 2 majors. It only got nominated.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he lost. Albert Finney lost. I skipped the winner for Best Actor because it's important.
For later?
For later.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. It's very important. Please trust me.
Okay.
Jack Lemmon hosted this award show. We love
Hey,
Jack
I
Lemmon.
love Jack Lemmon.
Best Picture winner Tom Jones is the only film in history to garner 3 Best Supporting Actress nominations.
That's what I thought was a record, yeah.
Important. It tied the Oscar nomination for the least successful on the acting nomination. 5 acting nominations. 1-0.
What's the other one that it tied?
Peyton Place at the 30th Academy Awards.
Huh.
This year's Best Actress category was really weird and unique. Patricia Neal won for HUD. She had a relatively small amount of screen time and was a supporting actress.
Okay.
It also won Best Actor for Melvin Douglas. and Best Cinematography. It was the second to and last film to win 2 acting awards without being nominated for Best Picture, which is really weird.
Okay.
That's if you win 2 acting awards, normally pretty good movie. Didn't get nominated.
Yep.
And at 71, Margaret Rutherford set a then record for being the oldest winner for Best Supporting Actress, a year after Patty Duke, who was, I believe, 70. And she's also the only she was the second Oscar winner over the age of 70 to win Best Supporting Actress. And the last woman that was born in the 19th century to win.
Wow. Okay.
This is the only time in Academy history that every Best Supporting Actress nominee was born outside the United States.
Okay.
Which is really neat, especially for the 60s. You would have thought. And the important thing about the Best Actor, Sidney Poitier became the first black actor to win Best Actor this year. He was the one who won.
Woo!
And another first, An Occurrence at Owl Creek was the first Oscar-winning film to have aired on network television prior to the ceremony.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And Best Sound Effects was introduced this year, with the winner being It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
That makes sense. I see why. I'm thinking back to it. It makes sense.
It's a banger.
It's a banger.
And that's legitimately it. What an interesting film. We have one more thing, and it's the Mary Pickford fact.
Finally.
Everyone's favorite. Of nearly 40 films that Mary Pickford made for the IMP, which is the Independent Moving Pictures Company, only 13 of them were known to have survived.
Interesting.
Which is like less than a third.
It's
almost exactly a third.
That is the most interesting fun fact today.
Well,
All those Tom Jones
you
related
didn't
facts.
like Tom Jones.
Okay, I'm really excited to watch this so that I can cross it off the list and not have to watch it ever again.
I told you guys it was a fucking silent film.
It's not. It is not a silent film.
It starts off
shot
as a
and
silent
starts
film.
off like it's.
right.
I told you guys.
I will say this, and I think you guys will probably agree with me, that some of the best types of movies are pleasant surprises if your expectations are really low. There's always a chance that Tom Jones could pull through.
All right, right now I'm thinking it's going to be about maybe like a 2 or 3. If it's like mid, I'll be gassed.
I'll be shocked if it's mid.
Dude, same.
It sounds awful.
I hate everything that I just read. Oh, meta stuff. Looks into the camera. Fourth wall break. Man named Tom Jones. I'm so checked out.
That's my favorite part.
Based on a book from 1749. Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
Shall we go watch it, fellas?
Yeah, let's go to.
No, let's keep prolonging the period in which we don't have to watch it. How's your day today?
You know what? I'm good because I get to watch Tom Jones with my friends.
So we just watched Tom Jones.
It was just as good as I thought it was going to be.
Oh my god!
It was actually worse than I
hate
thought it
this
was going to
movie
be.
so much. I think about Tom Jones, I just get angry. Like the thought of it, the fact that I fucking watched this stupid movie.
It's painfully boring. None of the characters get anything they deserve. Like Tom Jones deserves nothing.
He deserves only nothing. I'm gonna loosely describe the plot. Tom Jones wanders from place to place, flagrantly cheating on Sophie Western everywhere he goes, and gets rewarded at the end of the day.
With Sophie Western.
With Sophie Western, who put up no fight at all.
Yep.
But
my God.
that's a part of why it's bad. That's not even the reason it's bad.
I think my least favorite thing, besides the script, I don't like most of the shots in this movie.
I would agree.
This movie has a really bad shot selection, especially during the opening. The shot selection's really bad. The shot selection during the hunting scenes are really bad.
It doesn't look
the
like
shot selection during the sword fight is really bad. The shot selection during that really horny dinner scene is really bad. Like every single shot selection seems like it's the on-purpose atrocious choice.
The scenes at night don't look like they're lit right.
They're not. Ooh, bro, they're really bad.
And we started watching it in like crap quality, and we're like, okay, maybe it's the rip we have. So we went on HBO Max, which happens to have it.
Yeah.
And top tier quality looked like ass.
Yep.
So like,
no, the shot selection is really bad. The editing is really bad. There's a lot of cuts that are, it's like weird sideways, like triangular wipe cuts. They had a spiral cut in there, which was really, really ugly. They had like a wipe match dark cut directly to like 3 seconds of B-roll to another wipe match dark cut. Like there's just a lot of really bad shot selection and editing. I don't think it won cinematography or editing. because if it did, I would light the Academy on fire.
What did it win? Did it win for sound design?
It won director, which it shouldn't have. Picture, which it shouldn't have. It won sound, which, you know what? The original soundtrack for this movie actually is kind of nice. Joaquin said it out loud, and I told him to shut up because I hate the movie. But, like, he's not wrong. The original soundtrack for this movie is nice. It's overused, overbearing, and misplaced.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the movie. It's like a tuba, like blah, 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 blah. Like it's during the sword fight, which is supposed to be like this intense thing.
Best screenplay based on material from another medium. Best adapted.
Bad sound design. There are scenes where the music would start and cut, obviously for like comedic effect. I understand why, but it wouldn't fade properly, and it'd make that weird pop.
Yep.
You know when you cut
there's
audio
a lot
without
of
fading
there's
it.
a lot of that.
You know what I'm talking about. So it does that in the movie itself on the streaming service, which means that it's not like. Obviously the service, if like they would have touched that up or whatever, like that's clearly the version that exists. So what else? And then you mentioned it, the scene where they eat and stare at each other is just unbearable.
Like, oh, it's a weird. I wrote this scene is weird, horny, stupid drivel. This movie, it's like, what's the equivalent? Like a horny Adam Sandler comedy, but from 1963.
Kinda, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm right. No, you're wrong, bro. I'm sorry. This movie is supposed to be one of those weird, funny, tongue-in-cheek meta commentary movies where like the main character is horny and does all this stupid stuff and then gets rewarded anyway. And that's the epitome of like an early to mid 2000s comedy.
Joker, how are you feeling about the situation?
I don't think it's as bad as you guys are letting on. There are some fucking major problems in this movie.
Glaring flaws, which is
glaring flaws. One thing I do want to touch on real quick. There are multiple rape scenes in this movie.
It's very uncomfortable.
That's not okay.
The movie has such weird, like, toxic, gross meta commentary to it, and it's like the men controlling women aspect. And I get that it's maybe supposed to be satirical, but when the movie doesn't work as a whole because the script is bad, it doesn't show that way. It shows the opposite.
Rape should never be played.
For sure, bro.
It should never be. You need to ask yourself. Okay, obviously it's probably a problem with like the. We haven't read the book, but it's probably a problem with the book too, where it uses it in a satirical sense. You should never. You need to ask yourself while making a product: does there need to be rape in this moment?
The answer is always no.
I will say a couple things about that. I think it harkens back to our first episode of Blind Movie Club, where Ian, I think you said it best, where if you're gonna do something, whether it's serious or funny, like involve rape or murder or stab, like self-harm, earn it. The movie
This movie had no commentary that was any kind of social like awareness for anything.
I would also disagree that you should never joke about X, no matter what it is.
There's never a good reason for it.
I would say that there's no single person or event that deserves so much respect that a joke can't be made at their expense, no matter what it is.
I would simply disagree.
All right, well, it's all in the execution and how it's done. I mean, you could either laugh at everything or laugh at nothing. You know, nothing should be off limits. But I agree that it was done in very poor taste in this movie. It was executed horribly in this movie. Yeah. And I would never, for any reason, recommend any part of Tom Jones to anyone.
No, and even the Baroness, I don't remember her name off the top of my head. Baronella, I remembered. It was like, oh, what are you, frightened by the word rape? Zero. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Director of the film.
Horrible
What the fuck is wrong with you? Writer of the book, probably. I don't know. Yep. Like, it's just...
We have to see how faithful it is.
Yeah, great. I'm not going to
If the director purposely added rape scenes, then, holy shit, you are a horrible human being.
He was a theater director. He did a lot of theater, and it feels like a play. It really do be feeling like a play. And everyone in the audience knows that's not a fucking compliment. It's not a compliment. If your film feels like a play, seek help. Like, it's bad. This is a different medium than a play. It is a different level of engagement. It's doesn't work.
The silent film opening is ass. The over narration 5 minutes later is equally as ass.
The meta commentary narration.
Holy shit, the meta commentary
is awful. It is so. It's what I don't like in film. It's like, hello, audience. I'm going to take you out of the movie to explain something. Pip the diddly do.
I think I can count on one hand. I can probably count on one hand the amount of movies that I don't mind meta commentary in. There's very few. There's like Deadpool, Ferris Bueller.
I don't like Ferris Bueller.
I like Ferris.
I think Ferris Bueller gets It's okay.
It's way overrated.
Deadpool, on the other hand, I fucking hate Deadpool.
Deadpool, some of it works, some of it doesn't. Ferris Bueller, some of it works, some of it doesn't. But I think the movie is really weak.
I think the movies. I would disagree with both of you guys. I love both of those movies. I just.
Oh, I like Deadpool. Don't get me wrong.
Is,
but I think there's moments where it doesn't work.
My point is, assume those movies are great. They're very few that actually use meta commentary that are actually effective.
Meta commentary in film form feels a lot like treating the audience like they're dumb.
It does. It's kind of
you know
annoying.
what I mean. In this movie, he was like describing what Tom Jones is doing. And then when something bad would happen, he'd be like, what would happen next to our beloved hero, Tom Jones, who no one should like because he's the worst person in the film and in the entire universe. Find out next week on Tom Jones. Like, and he was like, never mind, he can't die, he's the hero. Fuck you.
No.
Suck my dick and balls.
No joke. Well, actually, technically one joke landed the whole movie. It was when one of the guys slapped the other. I just don't.
It's not a joke.
No, there were a couple.
That is not a joke.
That is an intentional piece of humor.
There were a couple funny moments in this movie.
I maybe laughed twice.
Look,
There
humor
were a
is
couple funny
subjective.
moments.
For me personally, aside from half a second of
Most
film,
of it was
nothing landed.
awful.
Oh yeah, for sure. This movie, the director said that he was dissatisfied and he cringes a little when people gush. I was cringing while watching it. The meta commentary, the terrible jokes, the abundance of like stupid sensitive materials that should not have been in the film and should not have been aspects of the film. Like, I don't know if it's a commentary on how stupid the traditions back in England used to be. I think that might be the intent, but the fact that I'm questioning the intent by how poorly the script is written is an inherent issue.
You can still deconstruct it in an effective movie. Like Barry Lyndon does the same time period. Awesome.
Do we have to watch Barry Lyndon?
No, I wish we could. I think it was nominated for Best
It
Picture
was
once.
nominated.
It's the 70s.
I didn't remember if it won.
You should mention that it was also that year, whatever year that is.
I will.
So, but yeah.
Well, if it got nominated, I will mention it. It wastes a lot of time. A lot of this movie, if you cut out the 15-minute hunting scene that doesn't really bring anything except him and Sophie, like, he breaks his arm. Like, you could cut that scene to be 5 minutes instead of 15. You can cut the horny dinner scene completely out of the movie. It's so unnecessary.
It adds
We know Tom Jones is going to fuck and cheat on Sophie Western. He's done it the entire movie. She deserves better. She deserves someone good. Like, no, I'm kidding. She is very, very pretty, though. I was saying that the whole movie. That's the one positive I had the whole movie.
The self-insert fan fiction.
She's
from
pretty.
Ian
She's pretty. He's an irredeemable character that gets everything that he wants. And that's such a boring story.
You know, the worst best pictures are that.
He never really has any struggle either. Like, you know, every single struggle situation he's going to get in, he's going to get out of because that's how the movie feels like it's structured.
Like, even one of the opening, one of the beginning scenes is when he's getting that bird from that tree. He grabs it and falls into the lake like 10 feet down and then holds up the bird like it's fine. Like, the bird, like, bones are hollow in birds. Like, that shit would crush. No matter if you're holding it or not, it would crash. Whatever. It's. I know it's a comedy. I know it's not meant to have whatever, but like,
it's a comedy.
Quote comedy. But like, it's just, to me, it's like, once you do that, it's like, well, now how am I gonna get back invested? I'm now divested from it. So.
I almost from the get-go was fed up, at least with the way the movie was shot and edited.
Most of the scenes don't add anything. Like you were mentioning, obviously the long-ass horse riding scenes added nothing. The annoying freeze frames added extra runtime.
What about that weird sped-up footage fight when they're at the Upton?
I don't get that at all. Did they think that was funny at the time? It reminded me of Casino Royale, the bad one. You remember that?
It reminded me of Benny Hill.
Or the long-ass, like, falling in love scenes. Not even just the dinner, which is, like, the most egregious. But, like, when I think it was him and Sophie Western, like, in the fields and there's, like, snow. Or they're like, ha, ha. That went on for another 10 minutes of movie. Yeah. That didn't need to be there.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of this movie. I would argue the whole 2 hours and 1 minute of runtime don't need to be here. Like, it's an unnecessary social commentary, quote, about something that just doesn't work. And even in modern day, making a film about it, even in 1960 making a film about it didn't make sense.
It didn't.
It's about arranged marriage and like not loving your partner and the old Victorian England.
But I can
like,
still name like 3 other movies that do that better.
But it's not a relevant commentary in 1960. So who fucking cares?
Yeah.
If you're not going to make it absolutely excellent. This movie needs to be like a 9 out of 10 to work properly and like feel thematically correct. And it's not. It's the opposite of that. Like, it is stark ravingly bad.
I about halfway through the movie, I had to sit up straight because if I didn't, I would have flat out fallen asleep.
I was
Joker, you because you next to me were all the way reclined down.
I wish I could fall asleep.
You fell asleep during an interesting one.
You did, but you had to fucking stay awake the whole
I
time.
was conked, bro. What do you want me to say?
I literally looked at him, Joker, are you fucking asleep? And he was like, no. And I'm like, bro, yes, you were. I looked at you.
I missed 5 seconds of the film.
I have one more note.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say it or who
Didn't you say that you had like a scorched earth?
Yeah,
note?
we'll get there at the end. But
well, that's not. Then you have more than one.
It's not really a note so much as it is my thought. But like,
okay.
I do want to mention that there's that weird sexist song poem. About like a third through.
Yeah.
I want to say where they're. If you just listen to the lyrics, it's similar to Gigi, where that had pedophilia. This just has flat out flagrant, flat out. I mixed two words together, but it's just not watchable.
It's like bears have claws and lions do too. Women should never stick up for themselves. Shit like that.
Ian's paraphrasing. That's
I'm dangerously close.
That's dangerously close.
And I was like, "What? That's weirdly sexist." And Jake, I already wrote that down. I'm like, "Okay, good." Like it's supposed to be like a funny tongue-in-cheek social commentary thing, and because of how poorly it's written, directed, even the acting isn't good. It got 5 acting nominations.
Yeah,
the acting's not great.
What are your overall thoughts? I want to start with Jokin. What are your overall thoughts on Tom Jones?
There's nothing here. You guys are like, oh, we need to have a discussion. I don't think we need to. It's just a boring fucking comedy. I'm sorry. The things that I talked about were the fucking, you didn't need the rape scene.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just a boring movie. I'm ready to give my score, honestly.
So I would like to point out that this is also the most British film I've ever seen. Like,
British?
that's not like positive or negative because like there are really good British things.
It's just
but
worth
this
mentioning.
is the most British. Like, it's up there with like Monty Python in levels of British.
It is.
You know what I mean?
So vastly inferior to something like Monty Python.
I don't even love Monty Python, and this is vastly inferior to Monty Python.
Yep.
Like, it's wild how bad this was.
So, out of 10.
This was 2 hours.
Since you're so eager, Joaquin, out of 10, how you feeling?
It's like a 2.
It's a 2?
It's not the worst thing we've seen. No.
Okay, Ian.
You're right. It's not the worst thing we've seen. It's the second worst thing we've seen. 0.
All right.
Actually, you give it a 00, my friend.
I did. I have 2 zeros next to each other, which is it looks like an infinity on my piece of paper. I assure you it's a 0.
You know I'm giving it a 0. This is the worst one. This is worse than Cavalcade. I finally reverse dethroned Cavalcade.
You think this is worse than Gigi?
You're damn
It's
right.
not,
You're
bro.
damn right. I can
you're-
look at DG and go, what great costumes, what great colors. This
movie
nothing.
had-
The music in this is good.
No, it's not. It's awful. It doesn't fit and it doesn't sound creative. Like, dude, no, none of it was good.
Okay.
I like the
All right,
sound.
well,
I like the music despite it being used poorly.
I think the music is good.
Congratulations.
And I think
0.
I think the costumes are better than Gigi too.
Yeah, my ass. All right, so what's your best and worst, guys?
Oh, Bridge on the River is the best one. Gigi's the worst, but this is almost tied. This was atrociously bad.
Joaquin?
Casablanca, Gigi.
All right, and I have River Kwai because it's the best one, along with new contender Tom Jones. And we'll see if that one sticks forever or not, because this is a real tough one to beat.
A stinker. A true stinker.
Truest of stinkers.
I
It's
cannot
like,
believe you. Fucking...
So the next one is My Fair Lady, which I'm also not excited for.
I am excited for that one.
I'm not a musical guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, the premise is
This is the one where he teaches the girl how to speak, if I'm not mistaken.
It's teaching. It's like taking a girl that's like a prostitute and then turning her into like a prim proper. It's one of those types. There's like 3
Yeah.
of those
it's
movies.
also British.
Yeah.
Yo,
It's
very British.
It's also British. It is quite indeed British. But
Well, we'll see you guys then.
for Tom Jones 2, My
Tom
Fair Lady.
Jones.
Electric Boogaloo.